To follow up on the Delta and Crowdstrike debacle, we're going to talk about that. COVID and revenge travel hits hard on too many destinations. Australia is going to join the TSA PreCheck. And if you had a choice, would you choose the gender of the person next to you on the airplane? In America, we celebrate Halloween, but in the land where it all began, the Celts call it Samhain. Go back to the place it all started. Stay tuned to find out more about these stories and much more, bringing you the top travel headlines from around the world now. But first, welcome to BTTravel News. I'm Kathleen, and this is your world travel information channel, giving you the information to help you make informed decisions so your adventures are the safest and best they can be. We also share insights into new and innovative ways to travel around the world. Now, on to the first headline. While a Crowdstrike software update ultimately led to the flight cancellations worldwide, Delta took significantly longer to recover than other airlines. In total, Delta canceled 7,000 flights and expects a $380 million revenue hit from the disruptions. The airline also anticipates a $180 million in expense for customer reimbursements and crew costs. Lawyers for Delta, Crowdstrike, and Microsoft are playing the blame game, with each company essentially saying, "Don't blame me." Crowdstrike claimed it offered Delta on-site assistance, which was refused. Microsoft suggested that Delta's outdated tech was the reason for the prolonged recovery after the July 19th outage. Now, Delta is saying that Crowdstrike's help came too late. By the time they reached out, Delta had already restored most of its critical systems. As these companies point fingers, it's worth noting that Delta has faced some criticism for its handling of the situation. Most of Delta's messaging has focused on blaming Crowdstrike, even though other hard-hit competitors like American Airlines and United Airlines bounced back within a couple of days. Delta argues its operating systems are more reliant on Microsoft and Crowdstrike, which caused the extended recovery time. Time will tell if this will end up in court. On to headline 2. According to the World Health Organization, or WHO, May 5th, 2023 was designated as the end of the COVID-19 pandemic. Since then, people have been on the rampage to get their travel time back. This is leading to the outrage of locals across Spain, the entry fees into places such as Venice, and more local economic damage than good from the overstimulated tourism that is happening mainly in Europe. According to Peter de Bruijn, UNESCO's senior project officer for sustainable tourism, told The Guardian, quote, "What we're seeing is that we're breaching a threshold of tolerance in these destinations. It's really trying to rebalance the situation. It's totally out of balance now," unquote. As protests have become more widespread this year due to more Americans traveling internationally, 2023 brought a $27.3 billion tourism trade deficit, according to the Reuters report of data from the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis, which is a 67% more than the deficit between the two locations just 1 year earlier in 2022. It's de Bruijn's belief that the solution lies with each location's lawmakers and officials turning their focus from promoting tourism to making these places, these destinations, better places to live. Headline 3. According to cbp.gov, the Global Entry U.S. Customs and Border Protection Program that allows expedited clearance for pre-approved, low-risk travelers upon arrival to the United States. Members enter the U.S. by accessing the Global Entry processing technology at selected airports. TSA PreCheck is currently available at more than 200 airports with 90+ participating airlines nationwide. Travelers must be pre-approved for the Global Entry Program. All applicants undergo a rigorous background check and in-person interview before enrollment. Australian travelers will soon have access to the U.S. Global Entry and TSA PreChecks programs, which speed up customs and security clearances at American airports. Australia's Foreign Minister, Penny Wong, has announced that 1,000 frequent travelers who must be able to show that they have traveled to the U.S. at least 5 times in the previous 12 months get round 1. The second phase, starting in 2025, lifted those restrictions, and Australian citizens do not have to be frequent travelers to apply. The Global Entry Program is already open to citizens of more than a dozen countries, including UK, Germany, Singapore, Bahrain, and Brazil. Australia and the US agreed to start working towards an agreement back in 2018, but it was delayed due to the pandemic. We shall see moving forward if the Australians get to use these wonderful programs. On to headline 4. In a world where gender equality and the LGBTQ community has been pushing for a sense of equanimity has been a hot topic, Indigo, India's largest budget airline, has been trialing a booking feature that will allow women to avoid booking a seat next to a man on flights. A company representative told NBC Travel that female travelers will be shown as a pink seat on the seat selection page. Male travelers, however, will not see this information, the company said. Gender is revealed during the booking process, and the company uses this information to assist in this pilot program. Quote, "Technology is now enabling some things which were not able in the past. We brought the initiative up as a test. It has responded very well with our customers, but also internationally," unquote, said CEO Peter Elbers of the airline, which is the world's 3rd largest by market value, operates more than 2,000 domestic and international flights daily. There has been, quote, "positive individual reactions," unquote, said Indigo's CEO, who told CNBC's Street Signs Asia last week. I'd like to get your input. Would you take the opportunity to choose the gender of your seatmate? Let me know in the comments below. Headline 5, the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, when people would light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off ghosts, was a deeply seated religious belief. However, for us Americans, it's slightly different. Sure, we dress up and act out the scary stuff sometimes. We even have bonfires and celebrate in our own ways. But if you had the opportunity to go back to where it all began, would you? Celtic Tours is offering you this. Guests on this small private tour can enjoy the largest Halloween celebration in the world, October 28th, 2024 through November 3rd, 2024. During this time, guests can experience the official Halloween festival and parade in the walled city of Derry, along with fireworks, a ghost tour, haunted site visits, a Derry Girls tour, Dublin sightseeing, and Donegal stops. I'm not being paid, nor am I affiliated with this tour company. We simply think this might be a fantastic opportunity to do something you've never done before. However, if going halfway across the world is not where you want to be on All Hallows Eve, our travel advisor has some other suggestions for your spooky Halloween fun. See the link below for some contact information. Headline 6. Although thankfully no one was hurt after the collapse of the 190 million-year-old sandstone bridge, many people are asking why. The double arch, which is also known as the toilet bowl, the crescent pool, and hole in the roof, collapsed in the Glen Canyon National Recreation Area in Utah. Quote, "Changing water levels and erosion from the wave action is suspected of contributing to the ultimate collapse of the arch. This event serves as a reminder of our responsibility and need to protect the mineral resources surrounding Lake Powell. These features have a lifespan that can be influenced or damaged by man-made intervention," unquote, said Glen Canyon National Recreation Area Superintendent Michelle Kearns. Headline 7. Although Debby is still being destructive, we are on the brink of another tropical storm. A Category 1 hurricane currently travels across the warm waters of the far northeastern Caribbean Sea and is predicted to shift north of Puerto Rico, perhaps the USVI and Hispaniola, as well as the Turks and Caicos Islands, on alert for tropical impacts this week. Designated potential Tropical Cyclone 5 by the National Hurricane Center, the next name on the list will be Ernesto. We'll be on the lookout for Ernesto in the upcoming days. Headline 8, August 11th to the 13th, Perseid meteor shower peaks. The most powerful meteor shower of the year will peak between midnight to early morning from roughly August 11th to the 13th, with the highest odds of shooting stars overnight on the 12th of August. According to the American Meteor Society, that is, Perseids, which appear near the constellation Perseus in the northeastern east sky, could produce up to 100 meters per hour from a destination with few clouds and minimal light pollution, such as a national park. The shower will be particularly dazzling after the moon sets around midnight, originating from the large parent comet Swift-Tuttle. The Perseids are known for particularly bright and colorful meteors known as fireballs. In fact, NASA says it produces more fireballs than any other meteor shower. Well, that's it this time. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell to stay in the loop of what's happening in the world of travel. Ta-ta for now. Wishing you safe travels and great adventures ahead.